What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with camera tips and tricks for the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2026. So we've got a lot of awesome, really good cameras here on this device, both on the back of the phone and on the front. And I'm excited to show you in this video how to make the most of those various cameras. So let's get started. So this is the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2026. Now before we go too far into things here with the various cameras on the phone, let me show you what literal cameras we are getting here. So on the back of the phone, we're getting a dual camera setup. So this is not a camera, by the way. It's a light sensor. So we have a 50 megapixel main camera and 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that can capture images up to 120 degrees. And then on the front of the phone, we've got a 32 megapixel selfie camera. Now, if you're looking for a quick and easy way to get to the camera app here on the device, all you have to do is just double press on the power button, and then from there, it immediately takes you over to the camera. And it doesn't matter where you are throughout the operating system, just double press on that button, and then now the camera appears. Then from there, you can see your various options that are available. So on 1x, that is the main camera. Then from there, you can go over to 0.5 to access that ultra wide camera. And as you can see with that, you can fit a lot more into a single frame here. We also have this flower icon, which is for the macro mode, but there is no dedicated macro camera. Instead, this is actually using the ultra wide angle camera to mimic a macro experience. But then, at least when you are in the macro mode, it is basically telling the phone that, yes, you are planning on taking a close-up image of something. And then from there, it does at least do a better job compared to just using the standard camera and trying to zoom in. So I am glad that macro mode's there, but just know that there's not a dedicated macro camera connected to that mode. You'll also see this button that says 2, but if you tap on that, yes, it does zoom things in, but all it's doing is just cropping in on the regular camera on the phone. So there is no dedicated zoom camera on this device either. Like I said, there's simply 2 actual cameras here in the back of the device. So at least with those, you still are getting a good experience. Now then from here, you'll see 2 buttons right here. This one is action mode. So if you're in a situation where there's a lot of movement around you, maybe you're at a sporting event and you want to get a photo of something that's moving, just tap on that button and then now you're in action mode and it should work a bit better for you. We also have this button right here, which is for the various filters. So there's a lot of fun filters built into the phone. So definitely try these out and maybe it'll kind of give you a new look to the photos that you're trying to take. Now moving up here, we actually have Google Lens built into the phone's camera app. So you can see we're now in Google Lens, and Google Lens has definitely expanded a lot over the years. Now the first thing you can do here is just take a photo with Google Lens, and then from there, it'll search up what you took a photo of, and it can also show you where you can purchase that same item or something very similar to it. So I do use Google Lens quite a bit. I find that to be really helpful. And then from here, you can also upload a photo directly to Google Lens to do the same thing. There's also translations, but I'm going to skip that for now. There's also live, so you can use Google Lens in a live setting. So what plant is this?
What a lovely display of artificial plants. The little round green one in the marbled pot looks like boxwood, which is often used for topiary shapes. The taller grassy plant behind it could be a type of artificial sedge or grass. Display. Would you like tips on styling or cleaning these types of plants?
Nope. So we can exit out of there. There's also create. So we'll try this. I'll take a photo of that. Make it a cartoon. And we'll see what happens. It looks like it's using Nano Banana AI to turn this into a cartoon. So like I said, there's really a lot of things you can do now with Google Lens. It's expanded a lot. And that's actually really quick, how fast it was able to turn it into an animation there. So just kind of a cool feature there that's built into the camera app on this device. Now moving on, we've got this button right here for the flash. So you can control how you want the flash to be, if you want it off at all times on auto or on. If you tap on these stars, this is another AI feature. Basically, you can add overlays or kind of like a LUT in a sense to your images. So there's a signature style, by the way. This color has been created for you using AI by an image master. You can use AI to help customize your own style. So I don't really use these, but you might want to try that out just to kind of make your photos look a little bit more different. Also up here, you've got 3x4. If you tap on that, you can switch the aspect ratio to 1x1, so square. You can also switch it over to 9x16. So that's great for video thumbnails, both in horizontal and landscape, depending on which app you were taking a thumbnail for. And they've also got the full device's display, so that's another aspect ratio available. So lots of good options there. There's also a timer, so 3 seconds, 10 seconds, or no timer, which is nice. I find myself definitely using that quite a bit. And then we'll get further into the settings in a second here. Now down below here, we've got slow motion. There's of course video mode. Now within video mode, up here again, you can have the flash on while you're recording a video. You can pick for your video to be the full frame of the phone itself, or 9x16 or 16:9. You can turn off the microphone if you want to. You can also pick the video recording resolution. So if you want to do 60 FPS, it does record in 1080p, so keep that in mind, or you can do 4K at 30. So lots of good options there as well. Let's go over then to portrait mode. So in portrait mode, we've got a couple different options. There's 24mm, 35mm, and then 50mm. So you might want to try those out. You can also adjust the blur level as well within that. There's also a pro mode where you can customize things like the white balance and ISO and more. And then under the more tab, there's options here too. So there's a document scanner, there's night vision, panorama, ultra res. So by the way, the phone doesn't actually capture images at the full 50 megapixels by default. But if you want that, you can switch over to ultra res to get that maximum pixel density. And then from there, you're able to take some really nice high quality images. You've also got an option for photo booth, time lapse, and then dual capture video. So with dual capture video, it'll capture video literally from both cameras. So the front and rear cameras, you can switch this around if you want to. You can also switch which rear camera you want to record your dual video. And another cool thing too is that you can have a 50-50 split if you want to instead. So this is definitely a cool feature if you want to show both points of view when recording a video. So that's definitely a lot of fun. And then flipping around to the front-facing camera, we can take a group selfie if we want to. There's also this like beauty mode. I don't really like to use this, but you can change how you look or smooth things out a little bit. So that's an option. And then you can also pick filters for this as well. Another way to get to the camera app on this device is simply to twist the phone, and then it does pull up the camera. Now from here, we can go over to the gear icon for the settings, and there's a lot of different camera settings. So definitely explore these if you want to. Now the first thing is we've got the front photo resolution. So you can pick standard or high. You might want to actually up that up a notch just to get better quality. So that's worth considering. We've also got watermark. So if you want to add a watermark to your images, you can do that. So you can have the name of the phone and the date if you want to. There's also a whole frame you can pick too for the watermark. So if I want the Motorola logo, I can add that as well. If I don't want the date, I can remove that. I can also add the time. There's also the parameters of the image, and I can even add my own name if I wanted to. So that's pretty awesome if you want a watermark. Efficient videos, I would skip that because yes, you are going to save on the file sizes of your videos, but you might run into some issues when you're doing the actual video editing. Selfie mirror, I'd keep that as is. Capture methods, so these are some cool ones. So we've got palm capture, so show your palm to capture. Auto smile capture, and then tap anywhere to capture. I'm going to enable all of these right now, and I'll show you how that works. So this one's a little bit difficult to demonstrate when I'm recording a video, but I'm going to show my palm. There you go, it did it. And then I'm going to smile. Okay, that worked. And then the other one is that if I tap, it'll capture an image. Now, if you don't want the shutter sound, you can turn that off. There's also Capture Assistant, so you can add a grid if you want to, or a level. You can also go to Quick Capture, so that is on right now, but that is if you, again, twist your wrist, it'll go over to the camera app. Now you can pick this actually for the selfie camera if you want to instead of the rear camera, so that's nice. There's also Keep Last Mode, so if you find yourself changing a lot of modes on your phone and you don't want the modes to go back to the default every time you pull up the camera, you can enable that and it will always go back to the last mode you were using. Although sometimes I like to start things off fresh every time I open the camera app, so I personally don't enable that. And that's pretty much it for this. Now Google Photos is the gallery app for this device. There's no dedicated like Motorola gallery or anything like that, which is fine. But just know that within Google Photos, they've really expanded the features that we have. So if you go to edit, when you go to a photo, there are tons of AI features you can access directly through Google Photos. Now, obviously, you can do this on pretty much any Android device, but I just want to remind you that you can do that here with the G Stylus 2026 as well. Now, there are some presets here for enhancing, dynamic, or boost, but you can also go to the tools. There's many other ones here. There's Magic Eraser if you want to erase something. You can add a portrait blur after the fact. You can sharpen, denoise, all of that too. You can change the lighting if you want to, the colors, lots of different things. But if you go to help me edit, you can literally tell it what to do. Make the background a tropical beach. And we'll see what it creates here. But this is definitely really nice that you can literally just go to a prompt and tell it what you want it to do to your image. And look at that, it changed the background completely, and it did a really good job at it too. I also like that it gave me multiple options as well. So overall, this is definitely a really powerful feature here with this device. Now, when you pull out the stylus on the phone, you'll have this pop up here. Now, I did already customize this. I put sketch to image in there, but if you don't see it, go to settings and then go to toolbar and then make sure that sketch to image has been added here. But then from there, I'm going to go back over, I'm going to go to sketch to image. And then from here, I can literally make a sketch and it'll create an image from that sketch. So let's see, what am I going to draw? Maybe a cat? Okay, let's see what it creates. I can choose between a watercolor, realistic. I'm going to pick realistic. And then now I'm going to go to generate. So now it's generating the image. And this is a Motorola specific feature. And it did create a cat. So that's pretty fun. From there I can save it or share it or do whatever I want to do to it. But that is the image generator or the sketch to image here with the device. But this concludes my video on camera tips and tricks and hidden features for the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2026. So definitely if you're into creative work, there's a lot of things you can do here with the phone, which is fantastic. And the actual cameras that we're getting with this phone are very good and capable as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. But this is Kevin here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a great rest of your day.